So the training is trying to, basically it's a drill for mirroring or exposing or reflecting your enlightenment skill. Can I detach? My mind's going to get captured, and can I now practice free my mind? Okay, so I think it was the other day in Jiyu Waza where we were talking about setting up. So you're being set up, let's say for the figure four, and you should be able, you have to be able to feel, my mind got sucked into that, and immediately you got to go and assess what else is happening, otherwise you're going to be set up. The real attack's not the figure four. Okay? In the use of force class, every single one where you had that OODA loop violation, it's because the guy did not reorient, right, to the new thing. Why? Because they got sucked into the first thing, right? So this is a drill you can kind of think of it as like, you know, unsucking yourself, pulling yourself back out, okay? So you can't stop as I talk because you're getting sucked into my talking. You have to keep doing what you're doing, so I'm going to talk through it, okay? So we established the rule of this, right? He has to do that. Then he can do whatever, right? So as I'm going, I try not to speed up. I'm trying to watch my intention. I'm trying to check him out where I can. I'm really observing myself. And in that way, it very much is a moving meditation. That's fine. Okay, let's go. So, the same way that I'm working things, I'm problematizing what I'm doing on the inside. Okay, so this, like over here, this was treated quite readily by most of you, like, okay, like that's energy, right? But when she goes to turn to me, this now is not treated like this in your mind, but it's not different, right? So I go here, she goes there, it's just the same thing. In meaning that, hey, it's just stuff to reconcile. It's not stuff to freak out about, okay? make sure I breathe. I make sure my feet are on the ground because my feet moving is my anxiety response.
Okay.
Just like my speed, my breath holding. Just wait there, do something. Okay? So, right? All that is, oh, I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck. Breathe. Reassess. Right? The whole battlefield. Okay? Let's go. Okay, so my mind is going. You can do whatever, right? So here's look at. So you're on one leg, and now hit me hard. You see? So I'm not gonna address that strike. Do you understand that? Not at the cost of what everything else I have. So I see you don't have a knife, right? Go ahead. All right. We don't want to do this, guys. It's all right. So. I have to, go ahead. I have to address the combination of motion, right? I have to be fluid in that sense. But that's not quite Aikido. I have to be spontaneous with my Aiki applications. You got that? And so the difference is like, go ahead, right? You see how I use that to get him off balance. So he goes, boom, you see the weight shift is what does it, boom, the weight shift. That weight shift there does it, right? Then, and so you get these little mixtures of it. You can't really, your whole technique can't be that, okay? But you'll find that. You'll see that a lot when Leah was like grabbing my leg, right? And I just moving my leg and it had her fall, okay? So I'm going, yep, there's the Aiki right there. Create that yin space to his yang. There it is. Good. To the yielding of it. There. 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 And to that, don't worry, I gotta talk, right? To that, you add your mixtures between Kokyu and Aiki. Those friction, the sticky parts, right? These sticky parts. It's all right. And so I don't get tired. Not here. You see? Find the Aiki. It's inside. It's inside. So I use his grip to tell me, no, that's not it. Stay inside. Inside it. I'm thinking this part on my body. Right. See? Inside, inside. Not this part. Here, here. You see what it's doing? Right. Okay, go back. So here I'm freaking out, right? But here I'm seeing the arm bar with just disappearing inside. against, or not against, but despite his gravity. There's room inside. Okay? Come close. Right? Don't walk behind the teacher, especially when your teacher's a cop. Any questions? Things, man, I keep doing this. I keep getting stuck in this. This is what keeps happening to me. Any comments, any observations? Yes.
When they're coming in to do the punch, I keep getting stuck on the punch.
Okay.
And
From where?
So when they're coming in, I'm coming on this, they're coming on to do the punch.
Okay, so let's set up that situation. Ronan, you be her. Yeah, tell him what situation it was. Grab, yep, talk us through it.
Punch.
Yep.
And then I get distracted with here.
Okay.
And I tend to always either just go to this one, and sometimes I just get it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pull out a solution I gave you when I was with you.
Hi.
Okay. So I go over here and look at my dynamics. So as he's moving, relax. Just we're like two airplanes on a stick. Okay, so don't do anything with your hands. Okay? As he's starting to move forward, I'm starting to move to this corner. You see that? Right. So I don't wait here. Wait, and then I go here. You see that difference? So again, he goes, he's doing that, and I go here. So that now he has a missile that can fire on the curve, and you're going to get nailed. What I'm doing instead is he's moving, and I'm moving away from that. Do you see? Stay there, right? And he does that same curve, and it's not there. He's going to have to take one more step. You see? So that's your zone of sanctuary. You guys remember that? So it's the corners of the fight. So once the attacker, his weapons in their individual vectors make up a particular circumference, and if I put that circumference inside a square, those corners of the square are your zones of sanctuary. They are the closest you can be to him, and the furthest you need to be away from him. Okay? So as I go and I work there, and I stick something in, you see, and I'm holding him. This is the one I was doing on you. So you go back and watch the video, and he can't get that strike. You see that? Just from me being on that corner. But you do the other one, you see, and you're not there. So it's a positioning thing. When the fight starts moving, you need to be on that angle. That's not to say that he can't parry my strike, you see that? But he has to reorient himself to my new positioning. So you can throw the parry, right? You see? So as the fight moves, parry, right? I'm over here. I keep staying in those corners. You see that? Until I can get the spiral going. Then he's close to me, but he's actually behind me. So this was kept going with Ronan. You see right here? Boom. Same thing. Boom, parry. Boom. There's the arm. Boom. Yep. Boom. So you can't stay still. That's the beginner mistake. And you can't move wherever. You understand? So if we're boxing and he's trying to close the gap, I would move, do you see? I'd move to that corner and make him have to adjust. Okay? So let's do just this variation. Okay, let's try it. Keep your own level. Go. Okay, so in Kihon right, I'm trying to do that. Then he parries it, and that just tells me to go there. Stop. Don't go there. That's not what you're trying to learn here. Okay? So my strike, boom, you gotta parry it, right? I occupy him, you see? There's stuff on it, right? Even though I'm going slow, it's not like this. Off to the side of his head. Will you please do the response? Do you understand the situation?
Hi.
That's not it. He's not impacting his stance at all. I can't transition to yin because I was already yin. So he hit this thing, boom, he walks into it. Then don't mistake this for Kaiten Nage. It's not Kaiten Nage. It's an application of Kaiten Nage. So yes, I have a rotational throw, but what do you always look for?
Projecting across the spiral.
Got it? So I generate a spiral and then I project across the spiral. You can't do Kaiten Nage from here as Kihon because you don't have the head control and you're not in the right spot. So find the new spot. It's on the outside of his head. There's my diagonal. Do you see that?
Right.
And then I project across it. He's got energy in this grip. See? So I project with the grip. Boom. Back again. Back. Grip. If he has no energy in it, like a lot of you, because you're freaking out because your head went down, then I attack directly, because that's yin space. So grip, strong, do you see? Yang space. Yin space. Follow the yin space in. You see that? Do not expect yourself, you're going to go here like this, and you're going to go like this. Like you're doing Kaiten Nage. This is not Kaiten Nage. So, integrity, home, boom. Okay, let's go. So at one level, you can see there's just certain personal obstacles that get in the way. You can intellectually grasp that doing a technique in a Kihon setting is just a world apart from doing a technique in a live setting. And the means of developing skill in the two settings are totally different. There may be individual components that overlap, but the means of developing the skill are totally different. And so when you're in, I want to do a technique in a live setting, you task yourself with that, you realize that there are some very personal obstacles to developing that skill. You can intellectually grasp that it's in a different environment. You can intellectually grasp what you're trying to do. But that intellectual grasping kind of gets more mileage in Kihon. Look, here's the fulcrum, here's the lever, here's an angle of cancellation, here's an angle of disturbance. And then over here it's like, intellectually comprehend all you effing want. You're not going to get it. So go deeper. What other faculties help me absorb and transform, absorb information, transform myself beyond my intellect? And what other faculties, what other aspects of my being stop me or hinder me from this absorption and this transformation? That now you're doing Budo. So some of the things I'm seeing here, I'm just not going to do that variation. I'm going to do this other thing as if it's equal. And if you'll see, because Budo doesn't reveal what you do. Budo reveals who you are. So if in your live training environment, you show a propensity for choosing crappy responses over martially sound responses, I guarantee you, everywhere else in your life, you show an incapacity for choosing wiser courses, better courses, more efficient courses. You have a difficulty prioritizing, valuing what should be valued. You don't just do it in this little live environment. So you need to go, why? Why do I do that? And I guarantee you, when you go down that dark hole, you're not going to find an admirable trait you should be keeping. You're going to find something you need to drop. So Budo training is that. It is a process of elimination, just like crap leaving your body. The transformation that you're seeking is not so much you adopting as much as is you getting rid of crap. So we've been told a million times, don't stay on the line. The fight's already moved. You need to adapt. You've been given metaphors. Look, it's just like dogfighter planes, the little toy models they use to teach dogfighting angles. You've been given analogous situations. It's like boxing. It's like tennis. It's like any other sport. You've been given two-dimensional diagrams. Look, it's like a circle and a square. But you can't stop it. Because none of those things have anything to do with why you keep it in a live situation. It's not an understanding thing. It's a being thing. So the ancient traditions understood this much better than we moderns. You can't fix being things with textbooks and certificates and seminars. It can't be done. So a very simple technology is the mentor-disciple relationship. You move because the person who you should be able to value told you to move. You're not giving me anything because you moved when I told you to move. I don't go home and going, I feel so good, I got Leah to move. That's a whole ego smokescreen that the modern world tells themselves. Because they're wrapped up in the fantasy that if only you had some power, you'd stop being depressed and bipolar and self-medicating and your life would be perfect. This has nothing to do with Budo, nothing to do with Aiki, nothing to do with Aikido. The true Deshi knows, man, I can't get this. So I'm going to use other components of my being. I'm going to use my emotions, my heart, my sense of awe. To help me find new ways of being. To help me drop things I'm holding on to and I don't even know why. Only I know I should not be holding on to them. So the teacher says, that's where I'm going. The teacher is a technology. It's not a person in your fantasies of hierarchies with kings at the top. The teacher is just a technology for self-transformation. It's a tool. The teacher is a tool to help you go. That's where I go. If you can't get a teacher you're going to want to ask this. If I can't do that with my teacher, Tate, all this goes out. It does. It just goes away. You're going to get stuck like the rest of the world. I'm going to make a big deal out of Jiyu Waza. Because, why? Because their being doesn't really matter. It's all an intellectual process. So you might go around and you might go, I just got to find a teacher I can do it with. No, the teacher wasn't the problem. You're the problem. You don't have the capacity in you to self-displace, to make the tool viable. You go through the history of world religions and religions of all kinds in the world, and you're going to see that the tool is a rock. And the naive person goes, it must be a very special rock. Look at it. It's so beautiful. This rock is so beautiful. I can feel some power coming off of it. Well, for $10.99, I'll cut a little chip off and you can take it home in this little bottle and you can put it on your altar in your house. Oh, wait, it's a tree over here. There's a tree. Oh my God. Oh, look at this tree. For $15.99, I'll give you a splinter and you can put it in this little envelope and you can put it next to that little rock shaving in your... You're not getting it. The tool works because you empower it with what? With you. And so when you can't empower it, then you know what? You got a problem. It's not out there, it's your problem. Whoa, I don't have that fuel. So guess what? You got to go back a step. Go get some fuel. That's where all the rest of the dojo comes in, to help you figure it out. The rules, the etiquette, the culture, the work, the community, the trials. It's starting to give you fuel. But at a certain level, you, the deshi, got to get to this point. I need some fuel so I can get my tools of transformation besides my intellect working. Whoops, don't have fuel. I got to get some fuel. In the old days, you had to come in with your fuel. Hey, you got no fuel. Get out. I don't got time for you. But I'm going to worship you like a king. I don't give a fuck. Get out. You're draining me. I would like to be worshipped like a king. Go do it. It's easy. Here's a black belt. Go start your own crap somewhere else. Get away from me. But we don't have that fuel anymore. So this dojo, we try to get the fuel. We try to help you get the fuel. but you got to bring it in. Everyone on the mat today should have enough fuel. You should have enough fuel to go, Sensei said not to stay on the line, so I'm not staying on the line. You'll feel yourself, I don't know where to move. I don't know where to move. Okay, you got enough fuel to go, who gives a fuck? Move off the line. You got enough fuel. Everyone here has enough fuel. You're just not using it now. You're going back to your old ways. I'm pretty sure, like, okay, he's been training a while, but he does not know me. And I might be that rare exception that should stay on the line. I could be that guy. Or maybe he's, he's just human and everybody's wrong. I should probably figure out where I should move before I move. That makes sense to me. See, now you're back stuck on yourself. So where's the transformation? That's just you being you. You already are a black belt in that. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter. Just move. Because spiritually, that's the training. My mind wants to stop. My body wants to stop. My ego wants to figure it all out and make sure it's safe before I do anything. That's you being you. Just move. Now you're not you. Yeah, but I didn't do a technique. What? Who gives a shit? You're not supposed to be doing techniques. Techniques are over here in Kihon. Over here, you're supposed to be transforming the self towards enlightenment. And that's a process of dropping all that crap that is the old you. So you thinking and trying to figuring out, that's the old you. It's not the right training. It's not Budo. So you just move. And what is the difference? In a Jiyu setting, what's the difference? I moved. What's he have to do in the OODA loop? He's got to reorient himself. Well, I'm sure there's better and worse places of moving. Not until you stop moving. When you stay moving and you stay in a relationship to the attacker, there's no right or wrong place to be. This idea that there's better and worse places of moving and the stopping that is related to it, that's the old you. That's the stuck on you. There's nothing wrong with what the person's doing. You making it wrong. You're forcing things. So it's a very simple technology of the self, the teacher. And you will find it throughout any tradition where spontaneity of art is the ultimate goal. You can go way back and you will find that. Man has known for centuries and centuries and centuries that we get stuck on ourselves, and while we have this great brain, it can often hinder us. But we have other faculties, other aspects, and we can use other devices to help us get past ourselves. And one of them is a mentor. So when we do this, how much more do I need to say, get moving, get off the line, stop waiting? It's too long, right? It's been years for some of you. You can't do it anymore. Just get off the line. Just take a step. Who cares where? In that step, you are closer to what you want than in you trying to find the perfect technique.